everyone, welcome back to the Paper Crafts Club. Today we're going to be making giant wallflowers, and I'm going to show you guys just a few more examples of these. So this is my daughter's room, and I made these wallflowers for her room. So these aren't as big as the ones that I just showed you, but you can make them any size you want. The materials you guys are going to need for this craft are scissors, a pencil, paper of your choice. I prefer to use cardstock because it's harder than regular paper, and I just feel like it works better for this craft. But if you have regular construction paper, just use that. Also, you'll need either tape or glue. But again, I'm going to be using this for video purposes, so it goes a little faster. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, you're going to need 7 full sheets of paper, whatever color you choose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm using light pink and dark pink paper, but you can use any color you'd like. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is decide what shape you want your petals to be. Maybe you want them to be pointy at the top or rounded at the top, or maybe squiggly at the top. So I'm going to make mine round at the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to start from the bottom of your paper and go up all the way. Try to use as much of the paper as possible. I actually made a mistake, so I'm going to go back in a minute and fix that. Okay, so I want to use more of the paper on this side, so I'm going to try that again. I'm going to go as close to the edge as possible, but then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to really go in more. So I'm going to cut the outer line. Okay, now to save time, I'm just going to stack these together and cut them all together at once. All right, so then you'll have your outside petals, your outer petals. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut a 1-inch line right here in the middle of the bottom, like so, and then set those to the side. Next, you're going to pick another color or the same color, depending on how you want your flower to look. I want to make a purple and pink flower, so I'm going to use purple as my next color, and I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of purple. Fold them in half, and I'm going to cut the same shape petal that I cut earlier. Okay, so I'm going to draw it first to make it easier. And I'm going to draw the same shape, but taking up this whole paper, or as much of the paper as possible. Okay. It's okay if you make some mistakes. We won't see that. So I'm going to cut the outer line that I drew. Okay. And then I would just turn it over so you don't see the pencil markings. And again, you're going to make the 1-inch line cut with your scissors. Okay, put those to the side. And pick the color that you would like to use next. And then you're gonna need about 2 of whatever that color is of your choice. So I'm gonna get 2. And then I'm gonna fold these into half and then half again, so you'll have quarters. Okay, like so. And then you're gonna go ahead and draw that same petal shape, taking up as much of the paper as possible. And then cut it out. So then you're gonna cut a 1-inch line again, right here in the middle. And then you have all 3 of the sizes that you need for the giant wallflower. So let's start with the big petals. We're gonna go ahead and get something to roll the top back, okay? So you can use anything that's cylinder shaped. I'm gonna use a marker and just roll it back. And my marker just fell out, but I'm gonna keep rolling. And then let go. And do the same with the other ones. So get your marker or your glue stick, whatever you're using, that's cylinder shaped. Roll all the way down and open. All right, next, take the big petals and fold it in like this, slightly over top of the other piece. Now you can tape it if you're using tape, just tape it on the back so you don't have to worry about this part, the tape showing in the front. So you can tape the back. I'm gonna use hot glue. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right here. Now I don't recommend you guys using hot glue because you can burn yourselves. Okay, you can go like that. Just hold it for a few seconds. Or if since you're taping, you don't have to hold it, it'll be ready to go. Okay, so you're gonna do that with all of the petals, the big and the small and the medium. Okay, just slightly overlap and put it down. Okay, now we're gonna put all of the petals to the side and grab one more piece of paper, and you're gonna make a circle. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle, it just has to take up most of the paper, or at least the top and the bottom portion of the paper. And then you're gonna go ahead and cut that out. And since I didn't cut it perfectly, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over so you can't see the pencil markings, and then put it down like that. Oh, I did forget to mention you will need ribbon or string or something like this. Yarn. So I'm going to use ribbon because that's all I have. And you're going to cut just a small piece of ribbon because this is what you're going to use to hang your flower when you're done. And then you're just going to fold it like that, one over top of the other, and then tape it to the back of the circle that you just made. Like so. So then you have a loop. Then put it flat, and then you can start putting your flowers together. On the bottom, you're going to put your Elmer's glue, or you can just tape your petal down. You can put tape right in the front, just a small piece across the front, but make sure it's like a durable tape, like packaging tape, so it really stays in place. And you're going to go all the way around the circle with your petals. So since I have light pink and dark pink, I'm going to try to make a pattern, but you're going to slightly overlap your pattern, your petals with the previous petal that you put down. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So I slightly overlapped. I put some of the paper over top of the other piece. And just keep doing that all the way around. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. The next step is going to be to put your medium-sized petals in between the two large petals. Okay, you're going to do that all the way around. So let me get my medium petals, which are right here. And I'm going to put some glue here, but you're using tape. So you're going to put that right in between and just place a small piece of tape right at the bottom to keep that in place. And you may even need to fold the tape around and put a sticky piece in the back to hold the petal like that. Okay, so finally you're going to use the smallest petals, and you're going to do the exact same thing that you did with the medium size. You're going to glue them in between the medium all the way around. Let's see, I think I have one left over of the small petals too. You can put that to the side. All right, so now we are just about done, almost done. We just need to make the center of the flower. So what you're gonna need for this is maybe a yellow construction paper. I'm gonna go ahead and use gold, again, because that's what I have. You're gonna fold it in half the long way, and the part that's folded, you're gonna cut. And you're gonna stop before you get all the way to the top. So you cut cut, stop, cut, stop, all the way down. They're relatively thin. Just make sure they're not too thick. And if you make them too thin, you might make a mistake. I've done that a couple times where I've just chopped off the paper. So be careful. Okay, once you get to the end, it should look like this. You're gonna use tape off this. Actually, if you're using tape, go ahead and tape all along here, so it doesn't come apart while you're rolling doing the next step. Okay. Next, you're going to start rolling. And again, if you're using tape, go ahead and tape this off before you continue. I'm going to use hot glue just because it's easier and faster for video purposes. And keep rolling. Okay. And taping it off like that is just going to help it to not get all messed up as you're rolling. Okay, so once you get to this part, you're going to go ahead and tape it off again. I'm going to hot glue. And it looks like this is too small for my flower, so I'm actually going to add another one of these. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to grab 2 more pieces of paper, put them together, fold them in half, and then do the same cutting that I just did. Okay. Take them apart and do the same exact thing that I did with the last one, except for I'm gonna do it on top of the previous one. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay. So take the paper that you just cut and tape it onto the old one that you made. And then roll. And then your middle is done. So then you're gonna take your Elmer's glue and put a whole bunch right in the middle, put it down, put something on top to let it dry for a while. Mine is gonna dry quickly because I'm using hot glue, so. Press down. But again, if you're using the Elmer's glue, put something on top that's not too heavy but not too light, just to give it a little bit of pressure and you don't have to hold it the whole time. I'm almost done with mine. And it's okay if you kind of press it, the middle, that way it kind of spreads out more and makes it look more full in the middle. Okay. And then your flower is complete. Okay. Now you just have to decide where you want to decorate. This was the last one I made, and this one I made with pointy petals. Okay, so take the hook or get a piece of tape, a strong piece of tape. I'm using packaging tape. And I'm going to put it onto the hook and then figure out where I want to put it on my wall for decoration.